We're back. Let's get straight to it. Comrade Akpobari Celestine, human and environmental rights defender, member governing council of Hyper, joins us live on the program virtually. Thank you indeed, Comrade Celestine, for agreeing to talk to us. The Ogoni 4, or the 4 chiefs, some would describe them, finally have been remembered. I wonder if perhaps you think that all of the concerns have been laid to rest. Comrade, Comrade, I think you have to unmute so we can hear you clearly. I was asking perhaps now that the Ogoni 4 have been remembered by the president, does this lay to rest all of the concerns?
Well, I want to correct that impression, if you are hearing me now.
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm no longer a member. I'm no longer a member of the Governing Council of IPREP. I've served out my tenure.
All right. Thanks for that correction. Go ahead, please.
I'm talking about the award. You know, after the recognition of Kesarawu and others on June 12th, I was the first person to address the media to ask that the 4 should also be recognized. So I want to thank the president for that. But we have over 2,000 persons who also have heads on their neck. I also have families that are in pain right now because we have given recognition to the 9 and the 4 and the over 2,000 that were executed in cold blood by Paul Kuntomo, Obiumai, and the rest. Nothing has happened to them, and their family are in pains and agony as I speak. So this problem has created another one. But I want to thank the president for listening to us in honoring the 4 men. They were not ordinary Ogoni. They were very great personalities. Chief Edward Nakobani was the first vice president of MOSOP. Ababade was the secretary to the state government. In fact, the Polytechnic in Ogoni, which was the highest institution in Ogoni, he facilitated that.
Yes, Comrade Celestine, so I'm not sure what you're asking for now. Do you want a compensation for other members? And
so many things. So they were very great people, and we are happy that
Okay, we're having some challenges hearing you as regards of the network, but I'm asking, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking for. Perhaps, are you asking for a compensation for other members of those involved in the struggle, or are you asking for justice to be served to those responsible for the murder?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm saying, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, Comrade. Go ahead.
I'm saying that yeah, this recognition has been done, but the president and his team need to look into the details of what they are trying to do, because this is not, subsidy is gone. You don't wake up one morning, subsidy is gone, because I saw him bullying Ogoni leaders in that meeting. He was bullying them. In the middle of his address, he just stopped. He said, give us access. Give us access for oil. Even when the NSA spoke, he was talking about oil. He like oil is the main thing that they are talking about. All these crashing, the surfaces are moving front and back are just distractions. The main thing is oil, from what I saw from the body language of the president and the NSA. And I'm bullying our leaders. I think you need to sit down and think through what they are trying to do, because there's a lot of mess to be cleared before you talk about this oil that they are driving at. I'm telling you, I just came back from the field. I was in Oloibri. Yesterday, I was in Iba community. Iba is in a more local government area in River State. Oloibri, I don't need to tell you, it's in Bayelsa. The first place that oil was struck, according to history. What I saw, I was unable to sleep last night. Our people are dying every day. In fact, the back community that does not have an oil well. I saw the borehole, the woman opened it, and it was crude oil inside.
But
They said the soldiers came one morning and asked them to pack out from the house. They should not cook there again.
Mr.
Because if they cook, the whole community will be on fire. But they did not give them where to stay, an alternative. In fact, there is a lot of problem. I want the president to really think through. Yes.
Before we begin to talk about oil, I'd really like us to talk about this posthumous honor. Does it close the long chapter of acrimony between the families of the Ogoni 9 and the families of the Ogoni 4 and open a chapter of healing and forgiveness? This posthumous honor, do you see it doing that, such that there can now be unity between these two families over a 30-year period?
I didn't hear you clearly. I don't know whether you will come again, but I heard you are talking about the posthumous award.
Yes, you know, when President Bola Tinubu in his Democracy Day speech on June 12 honored the Ogoni 9 with posthumous national honors, it stirred controversy about why the Ogoni 4 were left out. Now that he has done right by the Ogoni 4, does it close that dark chapter and, you know, bring about healing and forgiveness between the family members of the Ogoni 9 and the family members of the Ogoni 4?
Well, I didn't hear you clearly, but I know that the honor of the 9 and the 4, you know, they are in order, and I don't think that there was any animosity between the families because there was an award. This award is just a recognition. You know that awards do not amount to anything in this country, because this is an award that people give to their girlfriends and give to whoever they want to give to. Unfortunately, our heroes that they bestowed these awards on, we have nothing to do with these awards in their graves, because those who are alive that have these awards cannot even use it for anything. So it's just a washy thing, in as much as, yeah, it is our pain a little, but that's not the main thing. These men did not die that they should be given awards that are given to every victim and Harry. They died because the life of the Ogoni people should be better. So what has been done to better the lives of the Ogoni people? The cleanup that is going on, how much the government of Nigeria has put inside, 1 kobo has not been put inside, and several other things that the government will need to do. But they need to think through. I don't want this to be another mistake of subsidy is gone. I don't think oil resumption should not be our problem at this moment. It will look through the details and ensure that the problems are solved. Like I've always said, when this country returned to democracy in 1999, there were 2 issues plaguing Nigeria, June 12 and Ogoni issue. June 12 has been settled completely. And we know how many years it took them to settle June 12. How will the president become so unpresidential in the middle of a speech because of oil? He just stopped. Let's give us oil, give us access, without thinking through everything. I don't think this thing will work, because Ogoni people are not afraid of anything. You cannot bully us. The NSA is not the petroleum minister in the first place that you will be talking about oil business. It's because you want to use the military. We are not afraid of the military or anything.
Let's talk about, well, I could have sworn that there were concerns on national television after the honor conferred on the Ogoni 9 and the Ogoni 4 were left out. There were huge concerns in Ogoni land with members of the families of Ogoni 4, you know, raising issues about the circumstances in which they died and fingering the late Ken Saro-Wiwa.
I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you.
Oh dear.
Please, I'm not hearing you at all. When the man spoke, I was hearing everything.
Okay, Kelly, I think you should try this time.
So,
yeah.
Yes, comrade, we'll try and see how we can fix that.
Yes, I'm hearing you very clearly. I'm hearing you.
Okay, I mean,
I'm hearing you very clearly.
Yes, you know how this network can be sometimes. So because you are from the region and you know how dire conditions are there in terms of the environment, there's also the question as to just how united the region is in terms of pushing for the interests of the region. You have representatives at the national level, at the central government. So sometimes we wonder, could we have perhaps been more united so that the interests of the region, the Niger Delta region, can be captured at the central government, at the national level?
Well, in all of this, I've always said that Ogoni is not an island. The Niger Delta is a very fragile region. We are connected together. What happens at one end gets to the other. And that's why in the wisdom of government, they say IPREP should clean the entire region and not only Ogoni, even though they are starting from Ogoni. And that's why I would have expected that Mr. President in that meeting should think about the connection between Ogoni and the Niger Delta. Mr. President, I wanted to hear about what decision he has taken to reverse everything that has been done about the investment. Because right now, the key, the number one problem the Niger Delta faces is the issue of the investment. The pollution in Niger Delta is too much to allow those who polluted our land to go scot-free.
Comrade,
I think that would be another war.
Yes, comrade, I'm
coming up.
Yes, I'm not sure you got my question. My question is, you have representatives at the National Assembly, for instance. You have reps as well, people who represent the region at the House of Reps. I'm sure you have some ministers from the region as well. Some of them seem to be very quiet and playing politics with what they should not play politics with. Your interest of the region, that's my question. How come that the region, the people who represent the South-South region or the Niger Delta region are not able to speak up or speak out or look out for the interests of the region? And I believe that you should be holding those persons accountable. That's my question.
Well, you know the way politics is played in Nigeria. I'm loyal, sir. I'm loyal. Most of the persons in the National Assembly there that you talked about, they didn't go there on their own volition. They don't have an independent opinion. They were put there by their masters. And they must, at all times, show that they are loyal to the detriment.
I'm wondering who their masters are. When you say they were put there by their masters.
I don't know what you are trying to ask again, though.
I'm asking Conrad, you said they were put there by their master. I'm wondering who this master is.
Yes, but are you from abroad? You are from Nigeria. You know what happened there. And most of them will tell you that they bought their election, that they were not voted into power, that they bought it. So when they are there, they are on their own. Okay. They are on their own. If not, how do you explain the fact that the whole region is in a mess? And like you said, people cannot come together to say, no, we don't want this divestment to happen. We don't want it to happen because these people have to clean up our environment. We are predominantly fishermen and farmers. If we don't fish and farm, how will our children go to school? How do we take care of the medical bills of our family people?
Okay.
How do we even eat? In the absence of a government. I went to Olebri where you think that oil was struck first. If you see what they call the theater in their hospital, it's laughable. In fact, the flood in the oil can get to your waist.
Okay.
And according to them, that they say that place is for reptiles, snake, and everything. In fact, we are in a total mess. The president knows how to declare a state of emergency. You should declare a state of emergency in the Niger Delta right now. Everything about oil business should stop. Let's clean up this mess and get our environment right for the next generation, because I know for our own generation, I don't think we will get it right. But let's keep something for the people that we call our children.
Okay.
There is mess, my brother. There is total mess in the Niger Delta. I'm just coming from the field. There is mess.
Okay, let me try again now, Mr. Kwabari.
I was expecting that the president will tell us, I'm putting $10 billion into the fund of IPREP to commence environmental audit in other Niger Delta polluted sites. I didn't hear all that because the $1 billion they gave to IPREP was a take-off grant for the first 5 years. The project is more than 9 years now. Nobody's talking about that. It's just, please give us assets. We need this oil. We need this oil. And Mr. President was boasting a few weeks ago that they have overshot their revenue plans for the year, even without oil money. So why are you disturbing yourself over oil if you know that you have gotten this money even in far August without oil? So a lot of things are wrong. I don't think that we are getting it right.
Okay, you just before we leave the HYPREP matter, you said you just served out your tenure as a member of the HYPREP Governing Council. The cleanup has started in some parts of the Niger Delta. How come it is not as far-reaching as you would want it to be?
Well, in the first place, like I said, $1 billion was a take-off grant. And the take-off point is Ogoni. And that's why we decided, I was on the table from Nigeria to Geneva. That time I was not a member of the Governing Council, when we decided how to implement the UNEP report. And we said that if IPREP is to clean up the whole Niger Delta, because UNEP did not recommend IPREP. UNEP recommended Ogoni Environmental Authority, Remediation Authority, and not the whole Niger Delta thing. But since the government said we are going to clean up the whole Niger Delta, that was why we created the BOT, Board of Trustees, for Ogoni Trust Fund. And an account was opened in London in the name of Ogoni people to keep the money there. So the $1 billion was not for Niger Delta. It was for Ogoni and a takeoff grant for the first 5 years. Because that cleanup will take about 30 to 35 years. And that's why I said that the government should bring money, like $10 billion into IPREP to continue the Ogoni, and bring like another $50 billion to commence environmental audit in other Niger Delta polluted sites, and maybe kickstart the cleanup too. Because, like I said, we are connected together. This is a fragile region. If there is an oil spill in Ekorepene, it gets to Ogoni now. If there is an oil spill in Okirika, it gets to Ogoni now. If there is an oil spill in Boni, it gets to Ogoni now. So how clean will Ogoni be if others surrounding the environment are not clean? So that's what we are talking about, that the president needs to think.
So Mr. Akpobari, are you saying that... Are you saying that you are not excited about the directive for the commencement of oil exploration in Ogoni land as issued by Mr. President?
That is very, very wrong. That is putting the cart before the horse. If you say that you are here for reconciliation, is taking oil the tool for reconciling the people? After ab initio, the hand of the tortoise is already out. They have shown us that it was oil after all. So all this gymnastics, dancing around was for oil. That is what Mr. President has demonstrated. Because you are not looking at the Ogoni Bill of Rights. The issue of political marginalization, nobody talked about. This reversal of divestment, nobody talked about. The issue of the military that occupy Ogoni, Obiomai, everybody that killed the Ogoni people in their thousands. Mr. President did not set up any committee to look at and bring these soldiers that kill people in Ogoni to book. They committed genocide. They should be on trial. They should set up a committee to do a review of the kangaroo tribunal trial that sentenced Kesawa to death. And see what went wrong. And so that they can exonerate them. Because what he did was to grant them pardon. You don't grant pardon to a man who did not commit any offense.
But Mr. Kober,
isn't that... commit any offense. Ken was not even in Gokana that day. So you don't grant him pardon. You exonerate him. So if president says he has no power to exonerate, it's to set up a panel to review, to do a review, and they will recommend exoneration and you will do it. So there's a lot of issues to look at. The issue of political marginalization. Since the creation of Rivers State, no Ogoni have been governor, no Ogoni have been deputy, no Ogoni have been chief judge, no Ogoni have been speaker. That was not how they resolved the June 12 issue.
So Mr. Koberik, pardon me, let me come in here.
Group contested for the presidency. In fact, Obasanjo was brought from the prison to contest, and he became the president. Olufala, Etunji Priwe, everybody, we are all Yoruba. There is a way they can look at all these things and solve this problem. There are a lot of problems. What they are trying to do is to put a white bandage on a bleeding wound. This wound is bleeding. It's not only Ogoni, it's the Niger Delta issue.
So, isn't that what is supposed to have been taken care of in the Ogoni Dialogue report that was presented to Mr. President? What is contained in that report that will protect the interests of the Ogoni people and, you know, end that regime of, oh, it is the elites that are conspiring with the oil companies and government to steal the commonwealth of the Ogoni people? So what is contained in that report to stop that cycle from repeating itself?
You see, when people are doing the wrong thing, they make mistakes all the time. You see why Ken Saro-Wiwa will remain in our mind forever. If Ken Saro-Wiwa was leading this process, after he has gone around the Ogoni in the name of consultation, we call for Ogoni National Congress and tell Ogoni people in an open BMGS field, this is what we have done. Oh, this is our recommendation. This is what we got from the field. We are going to present this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to hear your own opinion, those of you who were not part of this thing, to tell us your mind. And there will be general consensus and agreement. And Ken will stand up and act. You want me to present this to them? You want me to present it to them? Ogoni people will say yes, yes, yes. And that is a national endorsement and not an elitist conspiracy. And they will come back, and everything that happens, we will take it because we are part of it. But these guys did not do that. But they know what they want to achieve. I don't want to talk about that. Right. I don't want to demonize our leaders. I'm not one of the persons that will come on television to talk against our leaders. They are very great people. They have done well for our people. But I wish them well. But I'm saying that we should remember that God will judge everything that we are doing. That there is an environment that has been devastated. Remember that Ken Saro-Wiwa did not pray for this country when you were going into the gallows. So remember that people died, though.
Comrade.
Anything that they are doing.
Yes.
Remember that people died. Yes.
Comrade, you know you're a comrade, so your job is to ensure that you don't just leave them to God to judge them. As a comrade as well as and journalists on our parts, we'll try to see how we can get to you know, make them to account for the leadership positions that they hold, because, I mean, John Maxwell will say that everything rises and falls on leadership. You have described the region as a very, very fragile region, and I wonder perhaps how the movement for the survival of the Ogoni people, MOSOP, would be responding to some of these developments at the central government. What are you hearing on ground?
Well, what I'm hearing is that the people are not happy. The people are not happy that Mr. President is just in the middle of his speech, shouting on our leaders, embarrassing our people. Instead, then give us access, give us access. When you are yet to even address the issues in the first place. Something led to stoppage of oil production in Ogoni. Something happened that made that oil to stop. Have you addressed those things? Is this about award? What is an award, please? What is an award? Mr. President should go back to the drawing board and look at this whole thing holistically. To start with, that divestment issue, they must cancel everything that has been done about divestment. Those that destroyed our God-given environment must come back to clear the mess and restore our land to where they met it. That is the beginning. Then you look at the Ogoni Bill of Rights. This issue of political marginalization must be addressed very well, the way June 12 was addressed. This is what we are going to do for Ogoni people. This is what Ogoni has not been governor. What happened? They have not been deputy. They have not been this. When you want to take governor, you pass across Ogoni to a small village, you pick a governor. You want to take deputy governor, you pass across Ogoni. What did we do? You hate us. You like our oil. No. If you like me, you will like my dog. Don't hate me. Don't just say hate me and like my oil. What is the president trying to do? What is he trying to do? He's an activist himself. Even Ribadu. They know the right thing to do. I said, this is not subsidy. Oh. Subsidy is gone. And Nigeria has not recovered it today. They should think this thing through. They should think it through. Our struggle is a non-violent struggle. I don't want them to push us into another
Speaking of marginalization. Those that keep people in Ogoni. Speaking of marginalization.
What is the president saying about those that keep people in Ogoni? that occupied Ogoni and murdered our people in cold blood. What is the president saying about that? So this whole thing has not been resolved at all. There is bitterness underneath what he's trying to do. Me, I will just stay like this and watch them.
So, Mr. Akwobari, speaking of marginalization, I wonder if you have seen that dialogue report, and is there anything contained in that report that reflects the agitation of the people of Ogoni for the creation of Bori State, in line with the agitation for creation of states in other parts of the country? And will that solve the problem, part of the problem that you're talking about?
Well, they did not present the report to the people. They did not. So even if I've seen the report, maybe I got it from my own connections. But the people have not seen the report that they submitted. We don't know what is there. Whether they are saying the government should come and kill all of us, we don't know. But I think that if an Ogoni state is created, that will be one way forward. I will gladly jump on the street to dance, because money in this state is shared, in this country is shared to states. Mr. President has been boasting that there are more money in the pockets of governors now. Unfortunately, the governors are rushing to bureau the change, so change the money into dollars. They are not using it for any good of their people. But let us have an Ogoni state, where an Ogoni man is the governor, an Ogoni man is the speaker, an Ogoni man is the chief judge, an Ogoni man is deputy governor, instead of this whole thing that they are cheating us up and down. You cannot just wake up in the morning and say, open the oil wells. For what? You have just commenced a cleanup that will take 35 years. You can't turn on the tap and mop the floor at the same time. Let him do some of these things that you are talking about, to create the states, give scholarship to people, visit the families of the over 2,000 persons that were murdered in cold blood. I want to see you build mine in trial, and every other person that were part of this conspiracy to commit genocide in Ogoni. I want to see them on trial. But President, you know, President Tinubu knows it. President Tinubu had a scar behind him for this struggle. You were part of it. And he knows what we are talking about. So he has a scar. Let him remove his shirt. He has a scar.
Well, comrade, it's really, really pathetic. Even looking at those images right there on our screens, you know, begs many questions indeed. And it's amazing, because oil was discovered, I think, as early as 1958, and the region has seen a lot of oil spills or spillage, and conditions there in the environment has been terrible. But we hope that the president and his team, they are listening. We hope that your representatives as well, governors, ministers, those at the National Assembly, should also listen and get to ensure that they do what is essential. Some people have said that, you know what, may Nepal not happen to us, because I know that most of the body language from what I'm reading is not a good one. But we don't want to get to that point indeed. But we must thank you indeed for coming through for us this morning. Comrade Akwobari Celestine is human and environmental rights defender. Thank you indeed for joining us on the program, comrade.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, this is the morning brief. We're due for a break, but when we come back, we get to do a review about some happenings and development on the global scene. I'm talking about the United Nations General Assembly. Well, the 80th anniversary of UNGA, I should say. We're back in just a moment with analysis. Please stay with us.